It's me, Bree Reads! Hi friends, it's me, Bree. Today, let's make a tree craft. Let's make all 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. For this project, I'm using 4 pieces of paper, 1 for each season. This is cardstock paper. It's harder than regular paper and stands up stronger. Then I've got 1 piece of regular flexible paper for making a stencil. You'll also need a pencil, a marker or pen, craft glue, and colors. I'm using my favorite crayons. You'll also need decorations for each season. I got mine at a craft store and I made some. For spring, I'm using these flowers I found. For summer, I made my own cherries. I'll show you how. I started with a short piece of green yarn and 2 pom-poms. I took the yarn and tied a knot in the middle. Then, with my craft glue, I put a small dab on 1 pom-pom and stick. Then the other and stick. All done, I made 8 cherries. For fall and for winter, I'm using stickers that I found at the craft store. Some are felt and some are foam. Use whatever you can find or make your own. Now, take a moment to gather your materials if you're creating along with me. Before I can make any of my season trees, I'm going to make a stencil using the flexible paper. I'll fold it in half long ways, hot dog style. I'll keep the open side on the right and the fold on the left. I'll use a special trick using symmetry by drawing only half of the tree first. Let's start with the trunk. I'll pick up my pencil and start a little less than halfway up the paper, leaving this part open for the branches and leaves of the tree. I'll use my fingertip as a space away from the fold and start to draw down, slant out, then straight over to the fold. Now for the top of the tree, I'm using a kind of cloud shape. Boing, boing, boing. And when I get to the fold, stop! There, now I've got half a tree. I'm finished with my pencil for now, and it's time to cut it out. I'll cut along my pencil line. Remember scissor safety. If you don't have scissors that fit your hand, you might ask a grown-up for help. And remember, don't cut through the fold. Just follow the pencil line. Now's where the magic trick comes in. Open up your paper. Ta-da! You've got a full tree. It's the same on both sides. This will be your tree stencil. For this 3D project, it's important that all the trees are the same size, so you can either use this stencil or print one from my website. If you're using your own, put that one right on top of your first piece of cardstock. Then, I'm using my marker to trace on the outside of the stencil. Ta-da! I'll do it again and again and again until I have one for each season. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. Now I'll cut out all my cardstock pieces. Keep cutting until all 4 are finished. When you're all done, you're ready to fold. One at a time, I'm going to fold the tree in half long ways again. Make sure that the trunk is lined up. It helped me to do that first. Then the leaves. And press. I used the end of my scissors to press down even harder. We'll use this fold to glue the pieces together later. Repeat for each tree. These folds are what makes the craft look three-dimensional and pop out and even stand up by itself. This is why we want the trees to be the same. They've got to match up. Now it's time to color. First, I'm taking my marker and I'm closing up this part of the tree. I want the leaves to pass over the trunk, so I'm creating another little bump here. Now it looks like the trunk is underneath or behind the leaves. I'll take my brown crayon and start to color the trunk. You just color right over that fold we made. This is our first season. This will be the spring tree, so I'm using a bright lime green color for the leaves. I switch between a circle style of coloring and a long line style. This way is a bit faster, so I'm filling in the tree like this first. Then I go back in and make circles. You could color it any way you like. Take your time, pause if you need to. Now I'm going to color the summer tree. Same thing. I start with my marker. I close up the gap here with another little bump. Then, for the trunk, I'll use the same brown color. For the leaves, I'm using a bit of a darker green. I start with this same kind of gliding motion to fill in my whole top of the tree. And again, I go back over it with some circle shapes. I like to do this because it adds some texture to the tree leaves. Now we've got spring and we've got summer. Do you know what's next? It's fall or autumn. Very same thing. I'm starting with my marker and filling in the gap. And I use the very same brown to color in the very same trunk. For the fall leaves, I'm going to be using a golden mustard yellow color. Depending where you live, this is the time of year that the leaves are changing colors to warm reds, browns, yellows, and oranges. Let's see what we have so far. Bright green spring, deep green summer, and golden autumn. Now, what's next? Aha! Just one more. It's the winter tree. This time I'm starting with my pencil. We're going to be drawing some branches inside the tree. I branch up and I keep making these kind of arm shapes. You can get creative and decide which way you want them to point. How many you want to branch out? The reason we're drawing these is because in winter, the trees are losing their leaves. You can see a lot more of the branches underneath. At the end, I want it to connect back to the trunk, like this. I'm starting with pencil so that you can go back, erase, and change whatever you want. When you like what you have, go back in with marker. That's what I did. Now we're ready for color. I'm using the very same brown for the very same trunk, but this time I'll reach the brown up into the branches too. And I'm leaving the leaves white or just no color at all. We'll add some wintry decorations in a bit. Now we've got spring, summer, fall, and winter. Well, at least we've got the base of the tree. But it's time for some special decorations. First, we'll make spring with the bright green new leaves. And this is the time when flowers bloom. Let's add cherry blossom flowers. I've got my bright green spring tree, and I've got my spring flowers. With my craft glue, I'm going to place a small dot on the tree. Then I'll just tap the flower on. Another one here. And tap. And how about here? Now, you see where we folded the tree earlier? I don't want to put a flower on that fold. The reason why is because later we're going to stand the tree up and use that fold. I don't want to crush any flowers there, so I'll keep them on either side of that line. Decorate as much as you like with whatever you have. And I'm checking, does it still fold? Yeah, I kept that line clear, so this will work later when I glue it all together. Spring is finished. Now it's time for summer. The leaves have grown darker green and it's warm outside. Perfect weather for growing fruit. Let's make a cherry tree. My summer tree is ready. Remember, it's got that fold, so I'm going to be careful when I place my cherries. I'll take the cherries I made earlier and place them first. These ones are a little bigger than the flowers, so I want to make sure that they all fit. I'm trying not to let them dangle off the edge, too. It looks like I'm able to fit all 8 that I made. Now that I like where they are, I'm going to put a little drop of glue here, where the knot of the stem is. And press down. Cherries are just one kind of fruit that grows on trees. Can you think of any more? Apples grow on trees. Pears? Bananas? What kind of summer tree will you make? Again, I was careful not to put any on the fold. Does it pass the fold test? Yeah, that'll work. Summer is done. And now, fall or autumn. You can see the tree is changing colors. The leaves are turning golden and orange. Let's add some fall-colored leaves. I've got my golden autumn tree that I finished earlier. Now, I'm watching that fold again to make sure that none of my stickers go over it. It'll just be harder to put together. I got lucky and found these at the craft store. But remember, you can use whatever you have and even make your own. For me, I'm just unpeeling and sticking. Use your creativity. I can't wait to see what you make. And I'm checking my fold. Yep, still good. Now I'll finish the other side. Ta-da! My fall tree is complete. Last is winter. All the leaves on the tree have died and gone away for the season. In their place, you might find snowflakes and bare branches. No leaves on this winter tree, but I've got some stickers. These are foam stickers. They're a little bit trickier to unstick. But again, I got lucky. I found these at the craft store. If you don't have stickers or you don't have anything like this, you can even draw snowflakes. Whatever works for you. But remember, that fold is important to keep clear if you're using anything that pops off the page, like a sticker. And that's about all I've got space for. Now I test my fold. Yep, looks good. Winter is finished. And now the moment we've been waiting for. All 4 seasons are finished, completely cut, colored, and decorated. Now it's time to put them all together and make them stand up. I'll start with spring. I'm going to fold it in half so that the blank side is facing up. Then summer, I'll fold it the other way. You can kind of see now how the 2 halves will come together. They'll touch like this. To do that, I'm going back to my craft glue, and I'm putting glue on one side. It doesn't really matter which side you pick. I only need it on this half. Then I line it up and press together. Now I can stand it up like this. I've got spring and I've got summer. They're touching. After spring comes summer, and then it's fall. This time I'll glue these together, the same way I did before. 2 halves will get stuck together. I'm going to put glue on this half. It's on the back of the summer tree. Just one side should do. I press the halves together and push to seal them shut. There. Now I've got 3 seasons finished. If I lay down fall, I can put winter beside it. Oops, a little cherry got out. Now I'm going to fold over each and do the very same thing. I'll put glue on this side, just one side, and one side of the winter tree, and stick them together. Push, push, push. Now all 4 trees are on, but there's one more connection to make. We're going to connect winter to spring. The seasons repeat year after year, so of course we're going to complete the cycle. The back of winter will get glued to the back of spring. And push. That's it. We made all 4 seasons. Hooray! Thank you for creating with me today, friends. I want to see your trees. You can find and tag me on Instagram to show me. And please subscribe to my channel for more books and more fun. See you next time.